And it's a fair ball, and it's to the fence.
Oh, my goal.
Walking in front of him, he's inside the 10.
Oh, blocked from behind.
Put off the glass, no problem at all.
One for the cradle.
Got locked up. One guy that's got an angle on it, and he cuts back on it. Tip ball! I couldn't get out of the ball.
He's got it right field against the winner. Out of here.
Carries it, was tied at 19.
Southwestern Ohio and in the state for that matter. We're getting ready to start the game here, and with me tonight is Eric Bishop. I'm Dave Buffenbarger. Eric, it's good to be back calling a game, and what do you think about tonight's game?
It's great to be back. I'm super excited for once. We've got some great weather, although there's about a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming from center field directly into the plate. That's going to keep the ball down, probably keep the ball in the park here most of the day. So each of these teams are going to have to go battle it out between the.
Now batting for the Thunderhawks, the pitcher number 3, Sydney Larson. Now batting for the Thunderhawks, the designated player number 15, Callie Hoffman. Now batting for the Thunderhawks, the center fielder, number 23, Reagan Butikoffer.
Here for a number of years now, she's playing center field.
And 1-1 the count with 2 outs, runner on third. The pitch fouled off her shoulder there. It's a 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Again, Lakota East does their job, right? They get the lead off first pitch right up the middle, get a runner on, move her around with a couple of, sacrifice a couple of outs. Runner on third. And Lakota East threatening early. Fouled off.
Yeah, that was a great pitch by Katie. It was off the plate by about 6 inches, but has Butikoffer going after that with 2 strikes. Good pitching, good location. The lineups for the Comets defensively, as I mentioned, Katie DeBoer pitching for the Comets. We have Grace Rieger catching. Another foul tip. Count remains 1-2. Elena Harrison at first base. Sydney Carter, the freshman, at second base. Allie Weekly, a junior, is playing shortstop. Tori O'Brien, a sophomore, playing third base. You have Zoe Bishop, Eric's daughter here, playing left field. Zoe's a senior. And in center field, we have Olivia Popovich, another senior, and starting in right field, Abby Mullins. So we have a senior outfield and a pretty young infield when you look at it for the Comets.
Yeah, this is Sydney Carter's first start at second base. She's been a pitcher and been playing the DP position quite a bit. Another ball outside. So this is the Mason shaking up the line a little bit here against East. So Sydney gets the start at second base. The rest of the lineup pretty much the way it's been the entire season.
Yeah, I've seen the Comets several games, and it looks like they are making a change with Sydney at second. As you stated, she had been starting just as the designated player, hitting in the lineup, and looks like with her .529 batting average, they just want to make sure she's in there and starting at second base.
Ball high.
The other starter that we didn't mention in the lineup would be Hannah Lee. She is the designated player for Mason. She'll be hitting for the pitcher, Katie DeBoer. Budakoffer's battling there. She's up to a full count now after several foul-offs. There's a fly ball out to right field.
Trouble.
Abby Mullins comes in for the catch.
Yeah, that one looked like trouble when she first hit it. I think the wind tamped it down a little bit. Abby Mullins with great speed comes in, snags the ball for the third out, and retires the side with no damage. So here we go.
I don't know if we'll get a camera on the flag out there, but the flag, okay, so I'm a pitcher's dad, and I love it when the flag is blowing straight in. It's good for the pitching, keeps the scores down, and prevents the long ball from happening to some degree. But that flag is as stiff in the direction back toward home plate as I've seen it.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you, Dave, because my daughter's a power hitter, and I like it when the wind's blowing out. Gives her the extra advantage on pushing the ball out. But that wind goes both ways and is there for both teams. So
yeah, that's right. Well,
I'm
we're
with
allowed
you.
to be selfish in whatever way we want to be selfish.
It's
I'll tell you what, your daughter's out here today and mine's not. So,
well, yours is playing in college. Allie Buffenbarger is having a great season up at Youngstown State. She was a starter and started just about every game here at Mason last year. She holds all kinds of records here at Mason, so we're happy to see her having great success up at the next level. That's what this is all about.
going over the lineup, the defensive lineup for Lakota East, we have Cassidy Hudson at second base, Sydney Larson pitching, Callie Hoffman's the designated player, and I think I got that right because they didn't fill that in. Reagan Budakoffer is center field, Madison Beckham third base, Abby Niehaus catching, Corinne Haverland playing right field, Allie Lewis is playing first base, Emily Sauer is in left field, and Haley Holtman is the flex player at shortstop. Leading off for the Comets is Tori O'Brien. Want to mention, you mentioned Ellie, but also Lakota East is without one of their stars this year that they've had for the last 4 years, and that's Rachel Lewis, who's doing well up at Northwestern University, hitting the ball well, has been the player of the week or the freshman of the week in the Big Ten a couple times. So it's good to see people from the GMC succeeding at the next level. So Sydney Larson's first pitch into Tori O'Brien, slaps it to the third baseman for 1 out. One pitch, 1 out. I think we're going to see a lot of that slapping tonight, Eric.
Yeah, Mason plays the small ball. They've got, I don't know, 5 of the 9 girls are slapper bunters. Mason will small ball you. If you can't field the short game, you are in trouble against Mason.
That's right. Mason likes to put that pressure on. I like to see them try it. The better teams, though, are prepared for that. They know Mason, plus they have the talent defensively to defend that in a lot of cases. But it's still effective. It's an important part of the game, the small ball. We'll see how what kind of adjustments that Coach Muff and Coach Bell do during the game as the defense you can see is playing specifically to stop the bunt slap there. And there you go. Sydney Carter power slapping the ball past the third baseman for a single with 1 out.
Yeah, Lakota East well prepared for Mason's small game. Coach Steve Kastner's got them well prepared. You can see the defensive adjustments that they had. The second baseman all the way up. The infield is in, but you're still going to have to make the play.
Now, batting for the Comets is Elena Harrison. Nobody's going to play Elena to slap the ball. They're going to get back in the infield. Power hitter, good power. The wind, again, blowing in, but Elena can still put a lot of pop on the ball. So
Elena's been having a great season. Her sophomore season was incredible, where she was getting on base just about every at-bat. Had a little down year last year, but this year as a senior is coming out just smoking. Right now, Elena's leading the GMC in RBIs. I think she's got 17 RBIs in the GMC, which is good for the lead right now.
Well, I have my handy little stat sheet here, Eric, and I'm just going to confirm that you're putting out facts here for everybody. Let's go with 19 RBI.
Okay, let's see. I didn't want to cheat her out of it. There's a pop-up, though. Third baseman covers. That's Madison Beckham comes in, is able to get the pop up. And that brings up Zoe Bishop with 2 outs and a runner on first.
So again, Zoe, power hitter, hits for average, good 5-tool player. Sydney Larson, I went and watched a little bit of the East-West game last night, and Sydney is up to her same pitching skills, hitting spots, keeping the ball down, mixing up the speeds, using the changeup effectively. A lot of action from left to right on her pitches. So it looks like that's how she's starting out the game too. Fastball looks like a screwball inside. Right now the umpire appears to be giving that corner, so for both Katie DeBoard and Sydney Larson, that is very helpful. Neither one of those pitchers are pitchers that throw the ball down the middle. And there's a hard hit ball by Zoe to the shortstop. Haley Holtman comes up throwing, beats Zoe down to first place for the third out of the inning. Again, that shows Zoe's speed there. I've said that before. I mean, she made a hard grounder to the shortstop. There was just a little bobble there, but she makes the play close at first base. That's good hustle, giving effort all the way down to the bag. So.
Yeah, first baseman Allie Lewis with a nice little stretch there to get the ball. And at the end of the first inning, score 0-0. Neither team can get a run around. So as we thought, this might be a close game. And again, we're only 1 inning into this thing, but you can kind of tell both teams are going to play some good defense.
Got a replay coming up here. This is Zoe's grounder. See, it's just a slight bobble. It's right to her. And you get down there, we can barely see it, but she makes that a close play at first base. Good stretch by the first baseman, Allie Lewis. And I believe Allie is the sister of Rachel Lewis. So we'll probably expect to see some power in her bat as well.
Indeed. Pretty good crowd here for Mason home game. The temperatures of most of their games have been in the 30s and 40s, so nice to have a nice day here. It's about 75 degrees, winds blowing in from the outside, but brought out quite a few people here, including the entire Mason White Middle School team is here in support of the Comets. And we start the second inning.
With the batting for Lakota East to start off the second is the third baseman, Madison Beckham. Yeah, you talk about the weather. It's been cold. I mean, there's been a lot of games where you have to have a coat in the 40s, wind blowing, but today we're in the 70s. And we're joined in the box today by senior Jill Aquila, who's on the injured reserve list, having surgery on her arm this week. And her first comment when she comes in the press box is the air conditioning working? Is the air conditioning working? And it is right now, thankfully. So Katie working the corner, and we have a little bit of an off angle here. Yours is a little better than mine, but that was close, just misses on the outside.
Oh, she slams one, hard foul. That thing went all the way into the, boy, that's going to go right into the middle of the football field.
It landed out on the 50-yard line, maybe the 45-yard line of the far end of the field, right out the middle. So she got a hold of that one, but it's a long strike. 1 and 2's the count.
High and outside for the second ball.
Mentioned some players that moved on. We have Brooke Rice, who's the catcher here for 4 years, and she moved on. She's playing at Ohio University, and filling her spot and doing well this year is number 17, Grace Rieger. Good to see Grace fill in. She's been doing a great job of hitting, great job defensively, keeping the team up. So that's one addition to the lineup this year that seems to be working well.
Yeah, tough shoes to fill. You know, I think Brooke was probably played every inning since her freshman year, just about. And Grace has done an amazing job. She's hitting for power. She's had some key RBIs when we needed them, key hits, making great contributions, just rock solid behind the plate.
Pitch by DeBoard, the full count pitch, and it sails out into
foul territory. Yeah, Abby Mullins can't get to it. It was out of play anyway, and just about hit our camera operator over there. So, but the Comets have speed in the outfield, which is helpful defensively. They got Olivia Popovich, and both her and Abby Mullins, the seniors, have blazing speed out there. They can cover a lot of ground fast. And they're going to have to here.
Lead-off hit into center field again. So Lakota East gets their first batter aboard in the second. So the Comets are going to have to get to work again. They were able to shut it down last inning. So I'm guessing now that we're moving down into, what do we have, the 6-hole lineup. We have Abby Niehaus, the catcher. We'll see if she's a bunter. My guess is she will be a bunter here. This is about scoring runs however you can get them. So my guess is they'll advance the runner, and she squares up the bunt. Tori O'Brien fields, throws on to first to Sydney Carter, covering the base for 1 out.
Well executed by both teams. That's what you do when you got a runner, the leadoff runner on. You move them around, you sacrifice them however you can. Well executed bunt. And great play by Mason's Tori O'Brien to make the out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Well executed on both sides. Defensively, Tori jumped right on that. Sid moved over to cover the base. There's a slap hit to Allie Weekly at first, and you can see Allie Weekly's cannon right there. She has an arm. She comes up with that slow grounder, checks the runner back to second base, and throws a missile over to Elena Harrison at first base. I love to see that.
Yeah, if there's younger players watching this, Allie's form is textbook. She does it just right. She charges the ball, comes up throwing, amazing. That one was well inside.
Now batting is Allie Lewis, the first baseman. First pitch in for a ball, 2 outs. Beckham still on second base. Pitch by the board. Ball 2, 2-0. You have to like it when the ball's hit on the left side and you can keep that runner there, because in this situation, when you have the runner on third, it does put the pressure on the pitcher and the catcher to make sure, you know, there's not a wild pitch or a pass ball or anything unusual can happen. You have a one-base grace here with that person staying at second base. And it takes an arm to, and there's another hit to the third baseman, Tori O'Brien, on to Elena Harrison for the 3rd out inning. So Eric, once again, Lakota East gets their first runner on, and Mason's able to shut him down.
I'll tell you what, Mason last year with Ellie Buffenbarger on the mound, strikeout after strikeout, didn't have to play much defense in all honesty. Now this year with Katie DeBoard, she's doing an amazing job, but the Comets are now showing what they can do defensively.
Here's the last out down to Tori. You can see Tori, good hands, keeps her hands down, pulls them up. And Tori also has a good arm. Sophomore, third baseman, started as a freshman, back in that position. She owns that position, I'd say, for now, and probably until she graduates. And, you know, I like that about the Comets. They're young. They have a sophomore third baseman. They have a junior shortstop. Over at second base, they have a freshman. They have a junior catcher and a junior pitcher. So a lot of this team will be back, and even though we mentioned there are a lot of seniors in the outfield, there's some nice talent that are substitutes for the Comets tonight that will be able to fill in looking ahead to the future. And I'm thinking just Carson, Sneed, Paige Lovelace. That's 2 that I can think of for the outfield. You have Holland Tolliver that has been starting, and she'll probably end up rotating in and out of starting this year, that she can move into a number of positions out there. So I don't see Mason losing steam anytime soon.
No, it's a benefit of being in a pretty large school district with a large school. You have lots of deep talent here. Allie Weekly steps into the box. Allie's having an amazing, great breakout season, actually. Every time I look up, she's on base.
Yeah.
Every game, she's just running around the bases and making it happen. So hitting for power, you know, getting on when she needs to, getting RBIs. She's having a great season.
Yeah, I think if you asked Allie over her first 2 years, you know, if there's one thing you could do better, what would it be? And I think she would say hitting. You know, she had, not that she couldn't hit, she's very effective using the bunt. You know, she gets hits now and then, but she's batting .500 this year. She has 13 hits and 26 official bats, and hits a hard foul ball there down foul third base line. So certainly we always appreciate and somewhat take for granted Allie's defensive play. Makes very few errors, but she's adding in the offense this year, so that's
well, Allie's the complete player, right? She's another D1 commit heading to the University of Dayton.
Yeah, that'll put several D1s out there for Mason playing right now. I think you have Gabby LaSala down at Tennessee Tech. You have Brooke Rice at Ohio University. You have Ellie up at Youngstown State. And then you have Zoe, who's going to Miami. That was pitcher strike right there, called third strike on Weekly for the first out of the inning. I don't think Allie was expecting that to be called a strike.
Designated player number 5, Hannah Lee.
Hannah Lee stepping into the box. She's been in the, playing a utility position here, playing DP for a good portion of the season. Hannah's been asked to step in some crucial situations, and she has come through in a big way with some clutch hits just when we needed them.
Yeah, it says right now here she's only statistically batting .357, which is not bad. But I think what happened is she started off a little slow, and then I remember that at Friday Night Lights when they played Milford and Greenville, she was smacking the ball, and I think that got her on track, and that's what moved her into at least a regular in the lineup as far as the DP position, and she even played defensively the other day. So she seems to be swinging a hot bat right now. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, Hannah just shows that the ballpark ready for whatever they ask her to do,
There's one thing about Hannah is that she owns the inside. She's been hit by more pitches than almost every player I know, and she hits a deep drive into left field. A dive by the left fielder, doesn't come up with it. Center field backs up, gets the ball in quickly. Hannah's at first base with a single.
And right on cue, as we're talking about Hannah, how she's able to hit the ball, she puts a great hard shot. I think the wind coming in might have taken a little off of that, gave the left fielder a chance to make the play. But I'll tell you what, Emily Sauer out there makes a great diving, valiant effort for that, just misses it. And that puts Hannah on first base with Abby Mullins stepping into the box.
Great effort by the left fielder there, as you mentioned. It's great to see girls go after it, and that's what you get when you have East playing. They're just going to give 100% effort, always play hard no matter what the situation is. As we mentioned in the pregame, every year it seems that we've been here, the Comets are in contention for the league title, GMC title, with Lakota East and with Lakota West, and it's no different this year.
Yep, Mason's had at least an outright or a share of the GMC title the last 4 years in a row. Going for 5 here, and you're going to have to get through East and you're going to have to get through West every year. And these games are battles. They come to play. These schools are located just a few miles from each other. The girls all know each other. They play summer ball together. This game means something. So it's exciting.
You know, if you look at you mentioned the 4-year run of outright or shared GMC title for the Comets. They're back in contention for that again, as is East. But in the last 3 years, all 3 years, we have our senior outfielders and senior first basemen. They've only lost 1 game in 3 years in the GMC. And Eric, do you care to guess who that was to?
Lakota East.
It was Lakota East.
I was there. So unfortunately, Abby Mullins pops that one up. Some of the slapper bunters were having a little trouble getting the ball down, probably because Sydney's throwing some rise balls and putting it in a tough spot for them to get the bat on the ball.
Yeah, she moves the ball around, changes the speed. I'm not sure that like the rise ball is her go-to pitch. I think she's more change up, hitting spots right to left. But screwball, you're right, the slappers, we've had 2 pop-outs already, and then the power slap by Sydney Carter.
Grace Rieger takes strike 1, low and outside.
You know, I would say, Eric, if there's one girl, and there's probably more than one, that could get this ball out of here with this wind, Grace might be that girl, because when she hits them, she hits line drive lasers. I don't know if they're going to be up in the wind long enough to get knocked down. One
thing I like about Grace's game is she's got opposite field power. She hits from the right side, and I've seen her put some, that's too high. Hands foul.
Be in play. Oh,
and
it goes out of play.
The wind definitely took that out, because when I saw it first, it was looked like it was just on the line here, and it took it completely out of play. But as I was saying, Grace has put some shots over the right field line. She had 2 home runs in the game earlier this year, both of them over the right field fence, and they got out in a hurry. So Grace definitely a threat from the plate. Larson's going to have to be careful here on where she places these pitches.
1-2 pitch from Larson. Low and outside, ball 2, 2-2. It's a good location, though. I mean, that's for a 1-2 pitch, great low, just on the outside of the plate. Sometimes she may get that call, not today, though. I think that's a good eye by Rieger to let that one go by. 2-2 pitch by Larson. Again, on the outside, catcher did a nice job of framing that up. You know, that's one of those that's really close again. Catcher's Abby Niehaus, and showing nice form, just flipping her wrist, moving the ball in over the plate.
You can see Grace in there smiling. I think she may think she got away with one there. The 3-2 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 3.
It's a swing and a miss. Again, that's change in speed and the movement that Sydney puts on it. You know, you sit here and watch this softball, and you might think it's easy, but it's not. You mix up speeds, and that ball's coming in faster, slower, and then you have a little movement right and left. It's not easy to time those up consistently. So on the screen here, we're going to have the show you how this pitch. We can see the movement there. You can see that really
That's a good looking pitch.
had a little bit of break there at the end, but I'm guessing she got Grace more on a change of speed than anything there. So after 2 complete, we have Lakota East 0 and Mason 0.
Yeah, these two teams battled last year. I think it might have been 14, 15 innings. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, Mason did prevail in that game, but yeah, you can tell it doesn't matter what their records are showing up here beforehand. Both these teams are coming to play. They want to win this game.
Exactly. As I mentioned last night, I went to watch a little bit of East and West, and West ended up winning that game 6-1. Had a few hits in just a couple of innings for the most part. They had zeros in the innings. Sydney Larson did a good job. They had a couple hits that they were able to string together, and that's another part of softball. You know, you can get hits throughout a game, but to score, you have to string them together. West was able to do that last night, and essentially East was not, even though they had a few hits. Sydney pitched for Lakota East and Stephanie Maldonado for West, and they were both able to, for the most part, keep them off balance. But West takes a 6-1 win last night and is ahead by half a game over Mason in the GMC standings.
Yep. Stepping up to the plate now is Emily Sauer, the left fielder. This is her first plate appearance of the game. Swings for strike 2.
So you can see Emily here, probably built for speed, it looks like. And as she showed out there in left field, diving for that ball and going after it. I'm going to say she's probably not a power hitter. Check, swing, strike 3. And that right there, Katie getting the ball to move on the outside part of the plate.
A nice pitch. She's just indecisive a little bit on whether she should swing at that thing, and at the end it just couldn't pull back enough. And she's called out for the strike 3. So
I'd say you got her on the check swing as opposed to the pitch location, but hey, only the ump knows the answer to that, right? All right, 1 ball, no strikes. Right now we have the leadoff hitter, Cassidy Hudson, number 16, back up to the plate. I ran into Cassidy and Reagan and a couple other Lakota East players a week or so ago at Quatman's in Mason, and I was wondering if they were over there scouting the territory. But they were all nice. It's good to talk softball with the young ladies from all the schools, and they were definitely, you can tell they're excited softball players. They love to play, and we were able to have a good discussion about what they're doing this year, and we talked about Ellie for a minute, and it's just good to see girls energetic and passionate about their sport.
Cassidy with a hit up the middle in the first inning isn't able to get this one past Allie Weekly for, here you go, so the first out, second out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a black hole for the most part. There was a game against Lebanon where Allie was charged with a couple errors that, in my opinion, were questionable. But that happens. Certainly that doesn't reflect on who she is as a player. Most balls that get hit to Allie, they're going to get gobbled up and they're going to be outs.
You count on that here. So Sydney Larson, the pitcher's in. Takes strike 1 on the inside.
Sydney's another one, I believe, that's a verbal to Ohio University. Plays for the Ohio Hawks Hutchinson team, 18U team in the summer. And we have a couple of our girls play on the other Ohio Hawks 18U team. So I imagine we'll probably see Sydney again this summer is my guess.
Yeah, actually, Ohio Hawks have a number of players out on the field right now.
Yes,
Sydney Carter, Tori O'Brien played for a Hawks team.
Zoe Bishop in left.
Zoe Bishop in left. Jill Aquila was a Hawk last year, so great organization.
Sydney Carter, second baseman for the Comets. Her and Tori play together on Julie Jasworski's team. And there's another hit up the middle. That seems to be their spot. When they're hitting the ball, they're getting it up the middle.
Yeah, timing it right and picking their spots. But with 2 outs here, let's see if Callie Hoffman can move around. She's the DP.
You have known Callie for years. She batting third in the lineup today. She can put a little pop on the ball. Her dad, former coach in the Ohio Thunder organization. And I don't see Rodney out in the stands, although I'm assuming he's here. There he is. He's down there. The red hat on. So we have 2 outs. Did they just make a change? Did they put a runner in there?
They did.
The courtesy runner for the pitcher. Can't see the number on who that is, but we'll get that in a second, let you know who that runner is. So 2 outs. Sydney Larson gets a hit, and you're allowed courtesy runners for the pitchers in high school, so most schools take advantage of that. Callie Hoffman on the first pitch fouls the ball out over the first base dugout. This is a situation again. So number 24, Jess Church, she's also a pitcher, is in pinch running for the pitcher, so that's interesting. The 0-1 to Callie Hoffman, swung on, off the handle, fielded by Harrison. Harrison throws it away into, and it's out of play. I believe the runners will get second and third automatically.
Yeah, that ball hit kind of in no man's land. Lana Harrison comes up, makes the play, but the runner's almost at first, forces a quick and rushed throw, unable to get it there, and ball goes out of play.
So we talked about hitting, together, and to this point they hadn't been hitting together, but now what you have here,
here's the ball.
Here's the replay ball. That's in between first, perfectly placed, not intentionally. Laney just comes up and fires too hard to Sydney.
Yeah, she throws it low, and Callie with good speed there forces a bad throw. And you always say the team that makes the fewest mistakes wins. Well, let's see if East can capitalize on a mistake by Mason.
First mistake goes to Mason. First error to Mason, and that's what I was pointing out. You can not let the girls hit together, and you can't give them hits and errors. And I've always told Ellie, you can give up 2 hits, you can give up a hit and an error, but then you have to shut them down outside of that. And we'll see what Katie can do here. She's got a tough one to go against here. Second and third with 2 outs, and Reagan Budikoff are up. Reagan's experienced. Reagan's a strong girl. Look at her. She's got some good size, good softball player, played for years, and this is a challenge here for Katie. I mean, I think Katie's up for it. I also think Reagan's up for it. I'm anxious to see this battle play out here. 0-1, 2 outs in the top of the third. 0-0 score. Nice pitch by Katie. So you can see that pitch there. Starts on the corner and breaks off the plate right at the end. Nice quick snap at the end. Good pitch by Katie, 1-1. You don't want to give Reagan anything down the pipe like that.
Fortunately, Reagan files that off for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third threatening here in the top of the 3rd inning.
So let's look and see if Katie goes with the changeup on the outside here with 1-2. She works the outside for sure. That's a good pitch. 2-2, just a little bit outside, maybe a little bit up. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Budikoffer. Comets playing Budikoffer straight up here. And there's a swing, foul ball.
Inside pitch jammed her a little bit, but Budikoffer did a good job to get the bat on the ball and foul it off.
Yeah, that's another example, Eric. You mentioned it was inside of basically Katie working her out, and then working her in, jamming her. That's good pitching. Katie won't make too many mistakes in her location. And there is a fly ball, foul. Zoe tracking out there, just
not able to get that, but
get there just a little
Budikoffer put a good charge in the ball there, though. That thing goes fair. There's 2 runs in.
Yeah, it looked a little scary coming off the bat. Again, we have a battle here, 2-2. DeVore delivers. Outside, ball 3, full count. You have Budakoffer up and Madison Beckham on deck. I'd probably say let's not give anything too good to Budakoffer here. If she walks, you have that open base. And there's a swing, hit to Sydney Carter at second, on to Elena Harrison at first for the third out. There's the Comets working defense once again.
Yeah, fortunate that Budakoffer put the ball on the ground there in a place where Sydney could get it. She makes a good play on the ball. Little poise there for a freshman and her first time in playing second this year, but she's a great player, well coached, knows her stuff, and delivers. So good defense by the Comets, and unfortunately the East is not able to convert with runners on second and third. Yeah, she just grounds the ball here. Sydney gets over, makes a good play, good throw.
It's an easy play, and Sydney made it look easy.
Yeah,
we've talked about you and I and Gary Popovich. We've had some conversation about the Comets this year, and I remember at the beginning of the season when I told you two that Mason was going to be better this year than last year, and you guys challenged me, and I acknowledge that you lose Ellie, who was a first-team All-State pitcher, and you lose Brooke, who was a second-team All-State catcher, but those other 7 girls came back a year older and a year better, and those are 7 good players in those other positions. And then you add in, Holland, you add in Carson, you add in Sydney, the freshman, and you have some talent out there. And I think, the depth of Mason is really good this year. And Katie, the board can pitch, and Grace Rieger can catch. So I really like the opportunity that Mason has ahead of them this year in terms of a good run in the tournament. Olivia Popovich, the senior, up the bat.
Yep. Strike one on the inside. It takes a full team. It takes all 9 girls plus the few on the bench that get in. Everyone contributes. Everyone makes a difference in everything they do. So it does take a team. So yes, you can lose some key players, but as long as you reset, reload, and every team reshapes itself. East is a little different than they were last year. They've lost some key talent with Rachel Lewis, Kiana Tao a couple years ago. So each team resets, reloads. That's the fun part about it,
Yeah, I think last year Sydney Larson came out of nowhere as far as I'd see it. You had Kiana that was a great pitcher for Lakota East, and you wondered where they were going to go after she left, a couple others. And you had Rachel to fill in offensively and defensively for them last year, but Sydney pitched great last year for Lakota East, and looks like she's back on track again this year.
Senior Olivia Popovich, 2-2 count, nobody out here at the bottom of the third inning.
So Liv's our soccer player with tremendous speed.
Ooh, she takes strike 3.
That's the second called third strike on the Comets.
Now batting
We had
for the
Allie
Comets.
Weekly's earlier in the game, and then Liv there. That's a little bit surprising. And again, tough to tell the angle of the pitch. It looked maybe from here like it was close enough. There it is right there.
That ball
Well,
just
she
drops right in.
He drops it right in there.
That's definitely a strike. So if you take a look at Lakota East defense here, they got the second baseman all the way up, first baseman back, but they got the shortstop playing behind the line. So the soft spot in this particular defense is if you need to put it right in that 6-hole right there. And that's how you put a nice roller in there. Third baseman can usually come over and cover it, but that's how you got to put it in your spot here against this defense.
Not a hard grounder, but a soft grounder to shortstop. Tori's probably safe, or
right down the first
10
base
feet
line.
out in the front of the plate, in between the pitcher, first baseman, and third baseman is sometimes a dead spot. And you see Tori moves down the line well, but that just hit right to the second baseman.
That was a full swing by Tori there. Just caught the top of the ball, kind of dribbles down
Batting for the Comets.
right to the waiting second baseman there, which was Cassidy Hudson makes a good play on the ball for the second out. So now Sydney Carter, the freshman, steps in.
Cassie is another Ohio Hawks player there. So here we go. Sydney Carter, and she hits another hard one past the second base. So Sydney's the slapper that's hitting away here so far in this game, and it's working. She hit it hard past the third baseman her first time up, hits it hard past the second baseman who was playing up defensively, and that's not easy. When you're up that close and they hit a hard shot, that's not an easy play.
You have almost no reaction time when you hit it hard like that, and Sydney puts it right in this right spot. Now the right fielder is up. She almost makes a play on that. If she fields it cleanly, she may have a play at first base. But Carter with great
I don't know
speed.
with Sydney's speed, yeah, that's going to happen. But yeah, that's the play, if anything.
That's how you defend that, though. Yeah.
Elena Harrison up with 2 outs. Ball dropped by the catcher. Sydney. Ooh.
Wow.
We're going to have to look. Hopefully we can get that replay. Sydney's thrown out a second on a fumble ball, and she looks safe from here. But again, we don't have the best angle.
Yeah, Abby Niehaus actually bobbles that ball, comes down.
So you can see the base right there, right there. Oh.
I don't think Carter was planning on stealing. She's kind of off there looking, and soon when she saw the ball come down, she took off. And
I would say that was a nice slap tag by the shortstop, and I don't think that glove ever touched Sydney, at least from the angle we have. So anyway, that's all right. That's part of the game. The ump appeared to be between the Sydney and the glove, so he made the call on what he thought he saw, and he may have been right. The camera makes it appear that a little questionable.
Yeah, great play by Lakota East to get the 3rd out there. And we move to the top of the 4th inning.
We have fans looking up through the press box asking us whether she was safe right at second. We're going to say safe, but we don't know for sure.
Up here in the top of the 4th for Lakota East, Madison Beckham, Abby Niehaus, and Corinne Haverland.
Leading off for the Thunderhawks, third baseman number 12, Madison Beckham.
So the Comets return the same defense out the field. I don't expect any changes here for a while, maybe some hitting changes later in the game. So after 3, Eric, it's 0-0, and this is the kind of game we were kind of looking for, just a good defensive battle, making up, there was one mistake made, and the Comets covered that up.
Well, this is the game that shows you what you're made of, right? Tight game, good competition. Who's going to step up and make the play for which team? That's what we're here to see.
DeFord's 1-0 pitch outside for ball 2. And I've said this over the years, this is what I like about Leanne. Leanne always in the non-conference games schedules very good and teams that will challenge you. There's no stat builders on the non-conference games with Mason, and I think that helps them get better throughout the season. It helps them to be prepared when the tournament comes around, and I think over the last 4 years as I saw them when my daughter was playing, even the years before that when I watched them, just playing that difficult schedule helps them to make longer runs. I think Mason's won like some unbelievable number of consecutive district championships, have been in the regionals for a number of years, been to state a couple times. So I believe the schedule, the strength of schedule prepares them well.
Oh yeah, they're well prepared, well coached, plenty of depth. And so Abby Mullins actually makes a really nice play on this thing. It's hard to see from the TV, but this ball is dancing all over the place in that wind, and Abby makes the right adjustment and is able to snag that out for the 1st out of the inning.
Yeah, and she came in on that ball too. There's another pop up in the infield. Rieger goes after it and catches. That's a good play by the catcher.
Another good play by Mason there. Those balls, again, if you've never played, those are really, really tough to locate. You get over to it, because you're worried about the fence and everything else. Rieger makes a great play here and snags that ball out of the air for the 2nd out.
And the wind affects those balls too. We'll ask the guys to get a camera shot of the flag so we can show you just how hard that's blowing. It's coming in. So Abby Mullins' catch, Grace's catch, they look routine, but they're not easy. As Eric said, the ball's dancing out there, moving, and when you're moving and the ball's moving, it is not as easy as you might think.
Hard shot, Sydney Carter with a diving play, can't get it up. Oh, she's safe.
That was a good effort by Sydney, though. I mean, she had to get over to that ball in the gap, dove, caught it, and when you're on your knees, it's tough to gather yourself and make a short toss like that over to 1st. Good job keeping the ball in the infield. I'd call that a hit.
Yeah, I think that's a great play. Look, 9 times out of 10, that ball actually gets through and into right field for a hit. So Sydney Carter with a diving play makes a great effort here. She's just not able to get up, collect herself, and get it out in time. But still
we
great effort.
We don't do the stat book, Eric, but I'm giving her a single. I'm giving Corinne Haverland a single on that one there.
Yeah, she just can't gather herself there at the very end in order to throw it up. That's all right. We got
so
two
we've
down.
had two diving plays so far. We had one by Sauer and left for East, and that play by Sydney Carter for Mason. That shows that these teams want to win this game. Actually, Allie Weekly has dove for 1 or 2 balls as well, so they're getting after it.
So with 2 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes, another foul off here.
Allie Lewis, the hitter. And again, it seems like Mason, last inning, they got their runner on with 2 outs. Now East gets their runner on with 2 outs, and you have to string together hits. And it's not easy to do against both these defenses. Another nice pitch by Katie. Up and out for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. In a 0-0 ball game. A tight game as we expected.
Oh, and that hit her.
We got a hit by pitch. Katie DeBoard hits Allie Lewis. Puts runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, and brings Emily Sauer, the left fielder, to the plate.
Emily struck out her last at bat. Let's see if she's able to get the bat on the ball here into fair territory and move these runners around somehow.
So again, built for speed. Looks like, again, they're playing her at about regular depth there in the outfield and in the infield. I think he called that a strike. Yes, he did. Strike 1. The board gets a call in the river there, I think. There's the second one.
This one's
Just a little bit further
outside.
out. I like that. So you work the outside corner and he gives it to you, and then you work it out a little bit more to see what he'll give. And he didn't give that one. Gave her the first one, didn't give her the second one. Another one on the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sauer. Sauer's the 9 hitter in the order here, so I would say that the board would want to work this and avoid having bases loaded with the top of the order coming up for East.
Ball outside, 2-2, so clearly working her outside. The 2-2 pitch.
Struck her
Strike.
out looking. Another nice pitch. That ball had just enough bend on at the end to catch that corner.
I'll tell you what, she was outside, outside, outside. Put that ball in a perfect spot. I don't think Sauer was quite looking for the inside pitch there. Watched it come back.
Here's the pitch. Let's look at this on replay. Again, a little bit off on the angle, but you can see that just faded at the end.
She turns and looks at it into the catcher's mitt there, so she wasn't ready to hit that pitch.
She didn't seem to argue that too much. So while, again, we don't have the best angle on that inside corner where we are, it looked like a good pitch.
So great work by DeBoard there, and retire the side. They had a runner in scoring position again. Lakota East not able to move them around, but the Comets will face the top of the order here when we get to the 5th inning. Hopefully they do that with the lead here in the bottom of the 4th with Elena Harrison, Zoe Bishop, and Allie Weekly due up this inning for the Comets.
You got to feel good when you, whenever you can say I have Elena, Zoe, and Allie come to the plate back to back to back. See if they can do something here. I think, again, they've got to stay centered there. Looks like, again, Larson's getting them off balance with the change in speeds.
So we're starting to get into the middle of the game, middle to the deep part of the game here. This is where the seniors, Elena and Zoe, can step up and show some leadership and get the fire started here for the Comets. And
Fly. The wind just looks.
this one's trouble. I'll tell you.
That's a good play by the third baseman. Again, it looks easy, but she was completely turned around, had her eye off the ball, catches a glimpse of it at the last second, and makes the catch.
The shortstop's trying to cover this ball. I think she's calling for it. Watch, she comes over, she's calling for it, and at the last second she's like, nope, that's the third, the wind again. Between the spin of the ball and the wind, that's a hard play.
It's a good play by Madison Beckham out there at third base.
So the senior Zoe Bishop steps in with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
So as you mentioned earlier, the wind's blowing in, but Zoe is she's a person that can hit for average and hit for power. We're fortunate enough to have Zoe on our summer team for a number of years here, and always talented, always gets the job done.
So Zoe's been seeing Wendell Hutchison as her hitting coach for years, and he has been an absolute magician. He's been able to get every ounce of power out of her. It really helped her perfect her form, and most importantly, taught her how to the mental game of being a hitter, right?
3-0 strike.
Being up there in a pressure situation and having the confidence to.
Guess it's 2-1. They put a ball up on the scoreboard at the stadium here, but it's 2-1 to Zoe. Yeah, Zoe's form, you just see her right here. She looks confident up there. She looks strong. There's a ball inside, 3-1 now.
Zoe's worked hard on her hitting. I mean, she has put the work in both on the tee and in the cage, and she comes early for soft toss. She does all the work. So let's see if it pays off here.
3-2 pitch, 3-1 pitch. Fouled off. Now it's a full count. So now we're battling now. Sydney's been battling the whole game. We have Zoe up here 3-2 with 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning.
I'm sure they've scouted Zoe. I think they probably know where to put it on the 3-2 pitch. Let's see if she can put it where she wants it. Outside cannot hit the corner.
That's a good eye. That's a good eye. You have that shows that she's not up there with her mind made up on what she's doing. She's going to see the pitch, takes it outside, gets on base, ball 4.
Well, they've been pitching her outside all season. So and Zoe's taken a few out deep right, one of those outside pitches. Larson not able to hit her spot here with a runner on first base with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. And
so right here you have Allie. You have Allie Weekly up, and we talked about her earlier. She's hitting 500, so she's having a great season. But don't be surprised, because I see the first baseman and the third baseman back. Don't be surprised if Allie doesn't lay one down here, because she's a very good bunter from the right side. She can bunt and run as well as any of them can.
Yeah, and Coach Muff makes a pretty smart move here. She's going to put in Carson Sneed to run for Zoe. Carson has blinding, blazing speed. So
Carson, former track star. Yeah. And now you have her in. Zoe's not slow. Zoe is not slow, but Carson is really fast.
Carson's really, really fast. So smart move here by Coach Muff. Let's see if it pays off.
So we have 1 out, runner on first. Carson Sneed, the ball's hit down, foul down the right field line. So Allie wasn't bunting there. I still wouldn't be surprised to see it. A little bunt and run here. Allie's really good at that. Rarely will pop it up into a double play. She'll get that ball down, advance the runner. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, occasionally you'll see them swing away on the first few pitches and then you do a late show bunt at the end, especially if the third baseman's back. I've seen Allie do that a few times.
Third baseman's back. If she can put that down properly, it would be interesting to see if they'll send Carson from first to third if the third baseman come up and cover. But she's not showing any sign of bunting here, so that may not happen.
Carson Sneed wandering a little far off first base. Abby Niehaus looking her back.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where I don't think that's the pitch Allie wanted. She reached out for that with 1 strike, leaning out and going for an outside pitch. I don't think that's the pitch she wanted, but
it's a little hard to hit that. Yeah,
battling up there.
You're a little off balance when you reach out like that. It's hard to turn on it and get some power on it.
I wasn't paying attention to whether there was a lot of break on that or not. So
bounces in front of the plate for another ball. So 2-2 count.
When you're a batter and you have a pitcher that has a good changeup, you're always appreciative of the fact when they bounce it 5 feet in front of the plate. It makes your decision making easier. So 2-2 to Allie. Runner on first, 1 out. Swung and fouled out over the right field, first base dugout rather.
So with the wind and the outside pitching, you see the center fielder shaded over to the right-hand side of this. So Lakota East has got their defense set up where they want it. Let's see if Allie can turn on one. There's a big gap in left center here.
They're working her out. Worked her in on that one.
She turned on that one.
Out, in.
Smoked it foul. Hannah Lee's got to be careful right there. She almost hit her in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you have to be alert. These on-deck circles. balls come scorching there. You're up close. We were talking earlier about, you know, having to beat out balls and defensive players. There's a hit to left field down the line. Sauer comes up with it quick and clean, gets it in, keeps it to a single, keeps the lead runner at second base. Great play by the outfielder there. Good hit by Allie Weekly at the plate.
Great at bat by Allie Weekly. Fouls off, I don't know, 3, 4 pitches. Finally finds the one she wants. Smokes it down the left field line. Like you said, great play by Emily Sauer there to get in front of it.
Let's look at that hit here on the screen here. You can't really see the ball at first, but you can see it hits about 5 feet in off the line. And Sauer gets on it right away and comes up and makes a quick throw. That's just solid fundamentals there, and that's what you're going to get with these two teams. Hannah Lee coming up. As we said, she's been hitting the ball well. Starts off with strike one on the outside corner. Ump a little delayed in calling that as he's been on a couple, but he's probably saying it out loud down there, just not giving us the hand signal until late. 0-1 count to Lee. Swung on. Check swing. 1-1.
He's saying no, she didn't go. Cindy's appealing that one. Nah,
that's tough.
He's saying she got it.
That's really tough for him to call that from the left side of the field on a right-handed batter. But I would have to say that she swung at it based on what we saw.
We got a bird's eye view here, and it did look to me like her wrist broke the plate there. So no balls, 2 strikes to Hannah Lee. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th with Mason threatening runners on first and second. And the pitch outside for ball 1.
1-2.
Yeah, here's the replay on that strike. Let's take a look at this here. It's a little hard
tough to tell, but it's close. I think it was a good call.
Close enough. Doesn't matter. That was a pitch ago, so we're stuck with it.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lee. 1 out, top of the 4th. There's a hard hit ball up the middle, on to second for the out, and that's where they keep it.
Fielders.
So they force Allie Weekly out at second, and that leaves Hannah Lee over on first.
Carson Sneed advances to third. So with 2 outs, bottom of the 4th here, Comets finally have a runner advanced all the way down to third. Let's see if Abby Mullins can get this run in. Again, the defense, Abby's a slapper bunter, well known for that. Defense is playing up.
Hannah off to the races here.
Yeah, here's a nice play by Lakota East. Yeah, the shortstop on that, Haley Hoffman, makes a good play on it. And this ball's played up. Oh, great play. Gosh, Cassidy Hudson gets over there and just scoops that ball up. It was well placed, a little hard. I don't know that Abby wanted to hit it that hard. She's probably just trying to put a roller down the first base line and beat it out. But Hudson comes over, makes a good scoop, and a quick flick over to first base for the 3rd out. Here it is again.
Yeah, she just did it the right way. She moved on it,
yeah.
Reaches out, grabs it, and tosses it up for the 3rd out. So again, the defense, they've gotten runners, let runners get on, but they've made their plays to get out of the innings to keep the game scoreless at the end of 4. Headed to the 5th inning, Mason 0, Lakota East 0.
This got the makings of the way the game was last year, right? Both teams battling out, slugging through it, and just can't get that final run, out or hit or whatever it is to get the run in. So we've got a few more chances of both in regulation. So here we go to the top of the 5th inning.
Okay, so we have number 16, the leadoff hitter, Cassidy Hudson, coming to the plate.
Leadoff batter for Lakota East. We got Hudson, Larson, and Hoffman this inning.
Yeah, this will be a key inning here in the 5th. You have your leadoff. This is the 3rd time around. We'll see how Katie DeBoer matches up here in the 5th. Nice pitch. I mean, that's a great pitch. It's on the outside corner, hitting her spots. I like the way Katie pitches. Keeps the ball down, hits the corners, in and out. Rarely misses her spot. You can see that. They got her on the outside corner, so she creeps out a little bit further. He didn't give it to her. That's been the scenario a couple times. It's good pitching. Cassidy Hudson, a hard shot foul down the left field line.
Yeah, it was a hard hit ball. But one of the things I like about Katie, she's just got a great mental game too. You know, she doesn't really get rattled. She just gets in there, which is a great quality to have in a pitcher.
Yep. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and fouled over the right side dugout there, out into the road. Count remains 1-2. Outfield again playing straight up, maybe a little deep. And there's another ball hit to center field. Popovich comes in, Mullins charges, and it falls right in that hole between second, right field, and center field for a hit.
For her second hit of the game, she put the first pitch of the game right up, right over second base for a single. And now another hit here for Hudson, and so the leadoff batter once again for Lakota East gets a hit, and they got some outs here to see what Larson will do here. I don't know if they're going to bunt this one, move her over, or let her hit.
I say in a 0-0 game, this is probably going to be a bunt. We'll find out. Larson's up. She squares the bunt to Tori at third. Ball onto Sydney Carter. You should wing that ball down there.
Yep, I mean,
So
that was the play.
I like to play every time. They're going to run past that, you know, just, and we teach our girls in the summer, it's just natural. Just first, when you catch that ball first, zip it on down to the shortstop at second. See if you catch them rounding. And I think if they would have done that there, they had a chance. She was past the base by a couple of feet. You can see there on the screen now. And it would have been tight, but I always like giving it an effort. One out, runner on second.
Callie Hoffman.
Starts her off inside, ball one. Again, defensive battle. No surprise on the bunt to advance the runner there, the sack bunt. Ball, Katie, okay, so she did the opposite there. She started off a little inside, didn't call it, moved in a little closer, and he called it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hoffman. Starting off working her on the inside. The 1-1 pitch, up high, swung on, fouled off. Good effort by Grace Rieger to go after that ball.
Yeah, Hoffman's the one you want up in this situation. She's hitting .571 for the season coming into this game.
571, huh? Okay.
What it says.
8 of 14, 571. I don't know if she's the one you want up or not.
You are if you're East.
Yeah. Nice pitch by Katie, just missing in the river on the outside there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're bad. That's a good eye by Callie not to swing at anything bad. The 2-2 pitch is on. Swung on and fouled off her foot. Count remains 2-2.
Might need to walk that one off a little bit. That looked like it hurt. She's kind of shaking her foot there. Yeah, I'm sure that hurt.
Yep. Tori and Sid come over, talk to the pitcher, give the batter a second to gather herself, get back in there for the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, looped out into left field, shallow left. Runner advances to third. Zoe Bishop on it. That was just into the outfield grass. So we have 1 out. Now we have a runner at third, first and third. And this is where even a sacrifice fly can play to run.
Yeah, this hit just kind of no man's land. Weekly not able to get over there. Bishop is back too far because of the threat of a Hoffman's deep ball. So she puts it right in the right spot, moves the runner over to third, and the Thunderhawks are now threatening here in the bottom of the top of the 5th inning with 1 out, runner on first and third, with Reagan Budikoffer up, and she fouls off the first pitch.
Yeah, I wouldn't give Reagan Budikoffer anything good here. I'd make her swing at my pitch, and if she got on base, I'd be okay with that. Power hitter, 4-hitter in the lineup, strong girl. Don't give her anything down the middle. 2 balls inside. She swung at him, got her on the hands both times. No balls, 2 strikes. It's a big out here for the Comets. Top of the 5th, runners on first and third, 1 out.
Budikoffer coming in aggressive here. You know she wants this hit. Let's see if the Comets can get her out.
The 0-2 pitch. Inside. You know, I've seen so many of the girls with that Evo shield on their arms now. that pitch right there, they just lift their elbow up and take it. I know Rachel Lewis would have been hit by a pitch on that. She was effective with using that on the inside balls, and I've seen a lot of that in college. 1-2 pitch fouled off over toward the football field. Count remains 1-2. But I noticed that last year with Rachel, a couple others. Obviously, Rachel experienced playing with the band, the Beverly Bandits and travel ball, but I see a lot of these college girls, they just put that elbow out there and they'll take the hit by pitch.
Still takes a special girl to intentionally get hit by a ball coming in at 55, 60 miles an hour.
But that elbow, that Evo shield will protect you. There's a swing.
Oh, that looked like that
strike
hurt.
3.
No, that hit her. She fouled it off, and it came right up into her helmet, right up underneath her helmet, man. She's going to need to take a second on this one. That looked like it hurt.
I thought she hit it with her arm.
No, she swung on this.
Let's look at this, see what she hit.
No, it hits the handle of the bat and comes right up in her face. And I'll tell you what, this is a situation where in high school you have to have those masks on the front there. And I think that protected her from potentially, breaking her jaw. Yeah, you can see the face guard on there. I'm a big believer in those, even though they kind of obscure your vision. It's hard to repair a broken face, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why. That's the kind of situation. It's not even so much the pitch coming in. It's that foul ball coming up right in your face. We've seen that happen a couple of times this season already. So
we'll see if Budakoffer can fight that one off. 2-2 count. The delivery by DeBoard. Swung on and fouled. That's going to be back on the football field.
This time just on the 25-yard line. She turned on that one hard, though. The football field here at Mason is right next to the softball field. She put it right up over the stands and right on the 25-yard line. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High and outside for ball 3, so full count here.
I still like it. I still like that pitch there. Make her swing at something bad. You have enough control to go in there. Even if you walk Budakoffer here, I don't think that's such a bad thing. The full count pitch, swung on and fouled back to us. Doug Heitfeld needs to stay awake there.
So a battle here by Budakoffer here. DeBoard and Budakoffer battling here. Let's see who wins this battle here. A 3-2 pitch. And she walked her.
Inside.
It's a good at bat by Budakoffer.
They were working her hard inside. I mean, there was just a couple that were way outside, but
Now batting for the Thunderhawks, the third baseman.
That's a good battle right there. I mean, so here we go. Bases loaded. 1 out.
see,
Bottom of the 5th inning.
I don't mind that again. Bases loaded, you have a power hitter up. Now you have a force at any base, and she got hit by a pitch. Hit by a pitch brings in a run. 1-0 East.
And that's the second time this game that batter's been hit by DeBoard here.
It didn't look like Grace Rieger thought she swung at it, and Coach Muff is out to talk to the umpire.
She does not think so. I think she's saying that it hit the bat instead of her.
Here's the replay. Let's check it out and see what we have here.
Or maybe she moved into it. It hit her on the elbow. Coming on the inside there. That definitely didn't hit the bat.
And I don't think she swung. I think her elbow just came out there. I think that's the right call. I can see from behind the batter maybe what Coach Muff saw, because she did move that elbow in, but I don't think that was a swing or an intent moving in front of the ball intentionally.
No, I think she was just trying to get out of the way, in all honesty. So, all right, so Lakota East strikes first. Bases loaded now, 1 out.
Brings Abby Niehaus, the catcher, to the plate. 1-0. Lakota East takes the lead here in the top of the 5th. And there's a diving catch by Weekly. Tossed
gonna
up
get
to
doubled
Sydney
off.
Carter for the out. What a great play by Allie Weekly. I'm sure we're going to get to that replay, but what a huge play in a key situation for the Comets.
Incredible play by Allie Weekly. Diving catch, and has the presence of mind to flick it back to second base. Here it is again. Line shot. Weekly just pounces on the ball.
You could see the runner there at second was like, oops.
Whoops. And nothing she could do, and definitely out there at second. Great play by Mason. Awesome defense Makes you wish we'd have had that, one batter earlier. But nonetheless, with Lakota, the Comets get out of the inning with only one out. Or I'm sorry,
Sometimes
one
it
run.
takes somebody to start the scoring to get everybody to start scoring, you know? And let's see if that happens for the Comets here. Going back to that last double play, great diving effort by Weekly. The ball was hit hard by Niehaus. And the second part of that, which people take for granted, is Sydney Carter reacted by going back to the base because the ball was hit up the middle. She had to make a quick move to that and then adjust and goes back to second base, as you can see there.
She did.
Barely beats the girl back there. That's a great effort by both Allie and Sydney.
That's heads up. Again, a freshman there at second base. First time she's played there all season. Knows exactly what to do. Of course, she plays there, I'm sure, in summer ball and has played there many times before. But again, heads up play. Sometimes you can lose your head, in a different situation. Carter alertly runs over to second, scoops up the ball for the double play. And let's see if the Comets can answer here after Lakota East gets on the board. Grace Rieger's going to step in for the Comets as the leadoff batter this inning.
So we talked about the mistakes. They had a couple hits and a couple walks that inning. And then you had the hit by pitch. The hit by pitch was what drove the run in to give the Thunderhawks a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Lakota East strung just enough to get there together to get that run in. See if the Comets can answer. Grace Rieger swings and misses for strike one.
She came out of her shoes on that one. I think she's still a little bit upset at that hit by pitch. I know Grace. Grace is a pistol, and I'm sure she is not happy about that hit by pitch from her perspective. And she's coming out trying to take this one out of the ballpark.
But she's a fiery competitor, and alertly and smartly lays off of that pitch in the dirt there. So it's 1-1 count. All these girls want to win on both teams, right? I mean, but
if you look at the left fielder, how far back she is. Center fielder's about straight up, and right field's probably a little bit in due to the wind blowing in. But they're still all relatively deep with the left fielder. I mean, what do you have to hit to get between her and the fence? I don't think it's possible.
No, they're showing Rieger great respect here. They know, they've scouted her. They know what she can do.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I'll see off speed here by Larson. Let's see what happens. Oh, no, she comes. And that's a solid shot down the right field line. Fair ball. Rieger stumbles around first. Oh, she's going to be out. She should have gone back. Not sure what prompted her to continue on to second, but a great hit. She'll get a single and get called out trying to stretch it out for the double. But I believe if she wouldn't have tripped, she would have been in there for a double.
We'll see the replay here again. I mean, she doesn't fall down. She's clearly got a double here. This thing goes fair all the way into the corner. And here it is again. A great hit by Rieger. And then as you watch her rounding first here, she just loses it and just falls down. Oh, so unfortunate. Yeah. And then East alertly gets the ball in, gets her out for an easy out there at second. So.
Yeah, that would have been a nice situation for the Comets to have Rieger on second. They would have put a pinch runner in and have Olivia Poppy up to, do her small ball to advance her over. But we got to 1 out with Popovich up. Second pitch in there for a strike, counts 1-1.
A couple unfortunate events for the Comets here. A hit by pitch that scores a run, and now we lose a runner falling down around first. So let's see if the Comets can overcome here. The senior Olivia Popovich with a 1-1 count looks at a ball way outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Niehaus tried to frame that one up in there. That was just a little bit too far.
That's a stretch.
2-1 to Popovich. Popovich, as we said earlier, has speed. She gets the ball down. You better play defense. She'll be safe. It's just, when you see that big hop, you know she's going to be safe.
This is what I was talking about earlier. That is the perfect place to play. When that shortstop, she's playing behind the baseline. If you put it in there with Mason Speed coming off the left-hand side here, you're in the left batter's box. You already have a step and a half, and with her speed, there's no way you're going to get her. So the Comets put a runner on first base with 1 out. Tori O'Brien, the leadoff batter, steps in. Let's see if they can get Popovich around for the score.
There's the ball. Another one hit up the middle.
That's a great hit
that
by
cool?
Tori
Yep.
O'Brien. Yeah, she put a hard hit ball. Pitcher can't get to it, so yeah, Larson's just not able to get her glove on the ball. Rolls up there and right past second base. Popovich in with great speed. So 2 hits in a row for the Comets with 1 out. Sydney Carter, the freshman, steps in.
Sydney has 2 hits already, and this is a key time. Comets probably wondering what could be if Grace hadn't stumbled around first, but come back with 2 singles to follow that up. Bring up the second hitter in the order, Sydney Carter, the freshman.
Yeah, Sydney's having a great season so far. She can bunt, she can swing. Let's see where she can put this.
Ooh. That
Called up for a strike.
looked a little bit up and out from here, but 1-1 the count to Carter. It's not something she wanted to swing at, even if it did catch that zone there. It's a good pitcher strike. We'll give it to Sydney.
Now that's way outside.
Larson. Ball 2, 2-1.
Sydney Larson.
Yeah, we got 2 Sydneys working against each other here. I'll be clear on that. Outfield's up tight on Carter. She had a hit against against Lebanon in the Reds Classic there, and that left fielder jumped to catch that ball, and that would have made a difference. But same situation, same shot here would be good for the Comets. The outfield up tight, Sydney and the others on base with good speed.
2-2
Comets
count.
looking to make some noise here.
Did she get the bat back? Yes, she did. Ball 3. Now this is an important pitch here. So we got 3-2 with 1 out. Elena Harrison on deck. Zoe Bishop right behind her.
Check to see if she swung on that. I didn't even see it.
Yeah,
Close,
no,
but
she got her. I thought she got her bat back.
So we have the full count, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Comets trailing 1-0. Sydney Larson delivers, and oh! I think okay. I'd like to see that one again.
Now batting for the Comets, the first
Wow.
baseman, number 22,
Larson puts that ball probably in the perfect spot. Carter just didn't like it. That was huge.
Well, that's where you got to
Lakota
give them
East.
credit for Sydney Larson credit for hitting her spots. I mean, she put it in a great spot.
There it is, and it comes right down there. That's a strike.
And Niehaus did her job framing that up. She subtly just slipped it in there an inch or 2 toward the plate, and you're gonna get that ball called. You're gonna get that called as a strike a lot of times. That's not outrageous to call that one a strike.
So the senior Elena Harrison takes strike 1 on the inside. Didn't like it.
2 outs now. Comets trailing 1-0.
Again, this is what we were talking about. Let's see if the seniors can step up and make a big contribution here at a key moment.
You mentioned Elena has 19 RBIs on the season, so she's looking to add to that total.
She didn't like that one either. Strike 2, 0-2 count with 2 outs.
0-2, big game. She's not going to get anything over the plate here, and she's probably going to get a little change in speed. The 0-2 pitch to Harrison. Swung on right to the first baseman. She touches first base, and they're out of the inning. Good defense, good pitching there by East to get themselves out of a jam. Got a little break with Grace Rieger falling down around the bases, but nonetheless, they made the plays they had to.
Yeah, some key things happened in this inning that went East's way, right? Between the fall down here and and that strikeout there. I'll tell you what, this is what it's all about here. These are tight games, and it's coming down to just little things in these games that are making a big difference here. So Comets need to D it up here at the top of the 6th, down 1. They got 2 more chances to get at least 1 run back. If not, get more and win this game. So they've been in some tight games here lately. 3-2 against Fairfield on Wednesday night, and
It's 6-5 against Oak Hills the other night.
yeah. Here's the replay schedule for the games here. Plenty of chances to watch this
ICRC
again.
coming out and televising the Comet games. It's good to see those on TV. I know the girls enjoy it, and actually a lot of people do watch the games on ICRC. Not just the families of the softball players either. We'd always get a lot of comments about seeing the girls play on there last year. So we appreciate our ICRC for doing this. I want to call out to our camera operators here. We have Doug Heitfeld on the home base. Oh, there's a hit past Popovich in center.
And she's going to 3. Close play, nope. So that ball got over the glove of Olivia Popovich and a leadoff triple to start the inning.
And Corinne Haverland.
Corinne Haverland, and once again, Lakota East threatening here. No outs. Top of the 6th inning, runner on 3rd. And Allie Lewis, the first baseman, steps in. Let's see if she's able to get Haverland in. Haverland smoked that ball into center. Again, this is your 3rd at bat here of the game. You've seen some of these pitches before. I think you probably know what you're looking for, and this is
well, the Comets had the hits last inning. They were at the 3rd trip too, and they got the hits. They just couldn't capitalize. And you have a nice pitch just on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 Lakota East here in the top of the 6th. You know what's key about that?
Nice pitch.
You had Elena, the 3-hole hitter, and you had a chance to bust that open, but they keep it to where they may not have to face that top of the order again.
Yeah, another ball smoked here into left field foul. Lewis turns on that inside pitch, and crushes it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I didn't really see on that how if Popovich was playing up and she just got a nice hard line drive by her or what happened there. But there's strike 3. Hey, that's a big out right there.
It's huge.
You know, you got 1 out now, runner on 3rd. If they can find a way to keep that runner at 3rd this inning, that'd be great. And you have number 6.
Emily Sauer. She's the number 9 hitter. But yeah, that ball just went right over the top of Popovich's glove. And this one's going to be hit hard. Weekly cannot get
a good diving effort, but that's a tough play to make there at first. So that advances the single. I'm going to give it a single, and RBI scores the run to make the lead 2-0 for Lakota East.
Sauer with 2 strikeouts comes up big here with a key RBI in the bottom of or top of the 6th inning. Allie Weekly with a nice play on it, but she just can't get up and make the play. I mean, she threw it from her knees. But not enough. Sauer with good speed, and with 1 out, Lakota East goes up 2-0.
Ball hit the alley down to Sid at second base. Get the 2nd out.
Yeah, good play there. Cassidy Hudson, the leadoff batter, safely grounds out to Allie Weekly, fielder's choice there. Gets her out at 2nd, get the leadoff runner, and Sydney Larson, the pitcher, comes up with 2 outs, runner on 1st. Here's that play again. Yeah, Weekly with a nice scoop. Carter comes over and makes a nice play there at 2nd.
Play. It's a play they should make, but it's also a play that in a tough situation, if you're playing tight, can get away from you, ball into the outfield. But both Weekly and Carter handled that play very well, as they have a couple others already this game. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Lakota East leading 2-0. The pitch, 1-0 pitch into Larson for a ball. Oh,
no, that's a strike. That's a nice pitch. Rode the inside corner there. Larson didn't like it. The pitcher knew to lay off of that, but that's a good pitch by Katie DeBoard. Yeah.
So I always tell Ellie, never argue about the pitch, because you're going to like it when they call them for you.
Grace
2 balls, 1 strike.
Grace fakes the throw down to 1st. Make sure Cassidy Hudson staying honest on 1st.
Outfield again. Back a little for the Comets. Katie DeBoard delivers. Swung on and line drive for the 3rd out to Tori O'Brien. So again, they give up 1 run. Could have been, maybe a few more. They start off the leadoff triple, keep it to 1.
Yeah.
And going into the bottom of the 6th, Lakota East has a 2-0 lead on the Mason Comets.
Tell you what, Tori O'Brien comes up with a big play here. Larson smokes this ball, and Tori O'Brien has to make the jump to get it. And she even came up throwing. She was ready to throw it to first for the double play. It turns out there was 2 outs. Here it is.
Yep. Can't see
on the
can't
camera.
see the catch, but
She would have doubled her off. There was only 1 out, though. She was all ready to throw it to first base. So here we go, bottom of the 6th inning.
Bish.
And Zoe Bishop, the senior, steps in for the leadoff this inning here. Comets are going to need to get something going. They got 6 outs left. And going to need to come up with 2 big runs here to at least tie this thing up and push it, if not get more. And
they
get
have
out
the
of here.
lineup though too. They have the lineup to get 2 runs. I mean, you got right here. You're coming up, and you have Zoe, Allie, and Hannah Lee. Those are all hitters. Then behind that, you have Abby Mullins, who is a great slapper. Grace, who's already had a hit, and then Olivia Popovich. So you definitely have the lineup here to plate runs. I certainly wouldn't be pressing if I was the Comets, but.
For the Comets, they got the firepower, but they just need some good things to happen. They've had a couple things not go their way.
A couple bad breaks.
Couple bad breaks, and that's the difference in this game right now. Not to take credit away from Lakota East, they've earned it, but with some
They've
key
made
hits
their
and key
plays.
plays, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Lead off triple, you should score a run on that, and they did.
Once again, they're going to pitch Zoe outside here for ball 1.
I'd like to see Zoe react to that and focus on a little right side shot here. Wind still blowing in, basically dead end now. 1-0 pitch, swung on, hit hard. That's a hard hit. Great play by the shortstop. I mean, Zoe got all of that ball. It's a line drive into the ground. The shortstop comes up clean.
Yeah.
Haley Holtman with a good play.
Yeah, she did Zoe smoked the ball. She did her job, just couldn't get it through. She's playing deep here, I guess, respecting the power here, and then makes a nice scoop and a good throw, and out number 1. So up steps Allie Weekly, the shortstop here, with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Comets trailing 2-0 to Lakota East. Inside for ball 1. Sydney Larson's pitching a nice game here. She's moving the ball all over the place and doing just enough to get the outs.
And then you've had several of those just like that. Zoe, I think, might be the second one. Hard hit ball just right to them. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. It's part of the game, and East is making their plays.
Yeah, there's another nice pitch here for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Allie Weekly, the junior. Allie, a star on the field and in the classroom.
Yeah, she'll be playing, as you mentioned, just down the road at UD. She's already verbal there. Playing for Coach LaPlaca. And there for 3-1. Yeah, it'd be good to get a runner or 2 on here. Just kind of keeps Lakota East pressed a little bit. You don't want to give them a 1-2-3 inning and give them momentum. Make them work for it. There's ball 4 to Weekly.
Yeah, it's good at bat there by Allie. Good eye. Those weren't that far off the plate, so Allie with a really good eye, choosing to lay off. And we got a runner on first with Hannah Lee, the designated player, stepping in.
So I think Hannah may have walked last time, if I remember that right. But again, she's been hitting the ball well. This would be a good time for Hannah to keep it up. Gets her outside. Looks like she was going for that one herself. She stepped down the third base line and pulled her head. I think she was trying to get all she could on that first pitch. Tough to do that with Larson, with her mixing her speeds and the movement of her ball. 0-1 pitch.
Inside,
Nope.
but it's a strike.
That ump's fooled us a few times on that delayed reaction of his. 0-2 to Lee. Larson gets the signal from the dugout. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder hit to the right side.
Hannah
Lee
Lee
dives
diving
into first, trying to
base.
get there. Just giving it effort. What she's doing there, trying to get there, put the pressure on, but made it close. Cassidy Hudson scores the out, gets the assist over the first base. Runner on second, 2 outs. Abby Mullins, the batter.
Yeah, and this is a time where the Comets got a runner in scoring position, but with 2 outs, we need to find some way to move her around and string a couple of hits together here, see if we can get this run in. Outside pitch for ball 1.
Nope, he got you on the delayed reaction.
Did he?
Again.
No, that's
That
right.
was
I guess he
strike
did.
one. You got to wait for
You gotta wait for
this up. 0-1, the count on Abby Mullins. Mullins, a speedster. And there's a bunt right back to the pitcher. Good play.
Good play by Sydney
Grabs
Larson.
it quickly, turns and fires to first.
So we move to the top of the 7th. Lakota East will look to extend their 2-run lead here, and the Comets running out of outs. In danger of dropping the first game at home for in a very, very long time.
So coming up, just to look ahead, I mean, they're going to have Grace Rieger, Olivia Popovich, and then Tori O'Brien in the bottom of the 7th. So again, that's run scoring potential there. I think, you know, they just got to come out here, keep their wits about them, play good defense, and not allow any more runs here in the top of the 7th.
On the replay there, you could see cleanly fielded bunt by the pitcher, Sydney Larson. Whips it over to first for the 3rd out and keeps the Comets off the board.
And she did it quickly, too. She grabbed that ball,
Well,
got it out of her glove, got it over to first quickly. That's good work by the pitcher.
Absolutely. She knows Abby's got speed. You got to move quickly here. You can't take your time here.
You got to respect a pitcher that can field her position.
So a loss here if the Comets are not able to pull this out in the 7th inning and at least tie this game and push it. A loss here is going to change the complexion of the GMC for sure. It puts Lakota West in the driver's seat.
Well, Lakota West will be up there with no losses. East will be right behind them with 1 and Mason with 1. And Mason has West 2 times next week. They have them on Tuesday here at home. We'll be calling that game here on ICRC-TV, and then they have them Wednesday over Lakota West. So first little pop-up to Allie Weekly for 1 out to start the 7th.
Yeah, nice play by Weekly there. And Reagan Budekoffer, who came up big last inning with the walk, just when they needed it. And hits one very foul on the left side here for strike 2.
Eric, they just sent me the score from Youngstown in the 2nd game of their doubleheader up there today. Youngstown leads Niagara 3-1, and Ellie Buffenbarger's pitching and had given up 1 earned run in the 3rd inning on a runner that reached by an error. So I'm not able to follow that right now, but somebody knows that and sent me the text that I could see. So I am interested in that score, but right now I'm interested in the 7th inning of this game. So 2 strikes on Budekoffer, nobody on, 1 out. And you were talking about, West in the driver's seat. That would be only Mason's 2nd loss in the GMC in the last 4 years. And both would be to Lakota East, once 2 years ago. And then if this happens today, it'd be the 2nd time. But a lot of game left here. A fly ball out to Abby Mullins up against the fence.
She
and
hit
she
that
hits the
fence
fence
hard.
She did not appear to hit the pole there, which is good. And she gets up and throws it in. I think Abby Mullins is going to be okay.
She's going to be all right. I'll tell you what, that's scary there for a second there. She came in charging hard, hit that fence.
She's giving us a thumbs up. It's all good.
Everything's good. Mom and Dad in the stands over there worried about her, but she's going to be fine. Here's that replay.
It's like you have Mom, Dad, and Grandma up there, too.
Budekoffer smokes this ball in, just off the screen there.
Okay, so Abby, great athlete, but I'm going to tell you, she doesn't weigh that much. She bounced off that fence and snapped back.
I'll tell you what, a play like that can sometimes spark your team too. You know, you see someone giving great effort like that. Let's hope the Comets appreciate that. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the ball's hit to Allie Weekly, the shortstop, makes a clean grab and a clean throw, and Budakoffer is retired for the 2nd out.
And you see that arm there on Weekly. She goes over into the 5-6 hole, moves her glove over, picks it up, and fires a missile over to first base. And, you know, deep in the hole, these are 60-foot bases, and, they, you know, the infield's tight here. You got to make that happen quickly in softball, and she did that.
Yeah. Weekly with just a rocket for an arm. Hits the 2nd out.
2 outs here.
Madison Beckham up, the 3rd baseman. She pops one up over our heads.
1 ball, 1 strike. Beckham, the 3rd baseman. One pitch. The board delivers, swung on, grounder down the first baseline, and Elena Harrison tags the runner out going to first.
Applies the proper amount of force.
The proper amount of force. We've seen that before, haven't we?
We should probably explain that. We were coaching in a game, and a similar play happened here, and we got accused, our first baseman, of applying too much force on the tag, which was a ridiculous kind of a call, but we've enjoyed talking about that ever since. So,
yeah, so we always call it the appropriate amount of force.
So here we go, bottom of the 7th.
Eric seems to be popular with the fans here today. Everybody's looking up, waving at him. He's got his sunglasses on, his black Mason shirt, his khaki shorts there, looking cool in front of everybody.
That's right.
We've got a couple stud football players in the box with us here. Eric Miller, my man's headed to Purdue to play football. He does a great job of announcing and doing the scorekeeping for the Comets. And then we have Matt Sora, a 3-sport star, going to play football at Indiana State. Yeah, all right. So we got talent up here at Mason. We need to show some of that here in the bottom of the 7th out on the softball field.
Here we go.
Again, the Mason softball team has been up there in the conference. Only 2 losses, 1 loss in the last 3 years for these seniors, and I think they're going to give it an effort here to make a run here in the last inning. Bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Lakota East. East playing a great game. Comets really playing a great game with the exception of a couple plays. First pitch out there for ball 1. Grace Rieger again doubled on a hard shot down the right field line, or singled, and was thrown out as she stumbled around first. She's probably going to be mad that I've mentioned that about 5 times now, but it was a great hit, just an unfortunate situation. The 0-1.
Working her inside for a strike.
The delayed reaction from the umpire again for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rieger. There's a base hit up the middle, and you know what? If you want to start off an inning in a way you're going to score 2 and win it, Grace Rieger just did that.
Stepping up
hard
big.
Shot right past the pitcher to make the pitcher think about it. That was a rocket.
And she's going to get subbed out here. We're going to have a courtesy runner, and Taylor Heitfeld, the senior, is going to step in and run for her. Great job by Grace Rieger in a pressure situation here in the bottom of the 7th as a leadoff batter to get that first hit.
You know, it's nice to be able to put in a senior in a pinch running situation like this. Taylor Heitfeld, a good athlete, and you know, she's a good softball player. There's a lot of talent here at Mason, and Taylor is a substitute, but she's a great player and a good experienced player to have as a pinch runner in this situation. So Popovich up with nobody out and a runner on first.
Popovich in her last at bat put the ball just in the perfect spot to the shortstop, who's still playing deep.
She is. See if Poppy's going to bunt, slap, or power slap. Here we go. And it's a bunt down. She'll be safe. You're not getting her. You are not. I mean, I've seen this happen with Liv so many times going back to when she played for me. If you wait a split second, forget about it. She's too fast. She's going to be safe.
Lakota East a little indecisive on the defensive play. You get 3 players right around here. The second baseman and the third baseman can't decide who's going to pick it up. Third baseman finally does, but it's too late. Popovich is already on first.
Tori O'Brien
better than to throw it. And now we got runners on first and second. Comets finally threatening here with no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning with runners on first and second. And the leadoff batter, Tori O'Brien, steps in.
Tori's been batting leadoff all year. She's hitting .607. There's another hit by O'Brien. Yeah, hold that there. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the 7th, and you have the freshman, Sydney Carter, up to the plate. Now, Sydney's a freshman, but Sydney's played on a summer team that, you know, they played great competition, so this is a situation that she can handle for sure. East coach visit the mound and calls his infield together, calls his whole team together at the mound. I'm sure he's going to give him a little pep talk here. Yeah. Steve Kastner's been doing this for years, won a lot of games. I'm going to assume he knows how to motivate his players in this situation. But the Comets, bases loaded, nobody out. You have your number 2 hitter up who's been hitting well. You have Elena Harrison, the senior, on deck. And then right behind her, another senior in Zoe Bishop. If you're the Comets, you have to like your chance of at least getting this game tied up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tori O'Brien steps up big time here with a great hard slap right past the third baseman. We saw the replay earlier. Just got past her right into left field. All runners safe. And
I like the fact that the Comets are using that power slap more this year. That's a good thing, and it's effective.
Well, they're mixing it up. Popovich puts a little bunt there in no man's land, and then we got a couple of power slaps in here. Let's see what Sydney Carter can do here. Again, defense playing in their short game stop position.
Nobody out. Hey, this is the way you want this game. You want action. You want excitement. This has it.
Indeed it does. Let's
Ball 1 to Carter. Carter took her full count, if you remember last time.
She did. Now we need smart base running here too. Early in the season, Comets had some base running mistakes that came back to haunt them.
There's another hit.
So, bobbles the ball there. Bobbles the ball a little bit in left field.
That's a good move not to send Poppy, though. You have nobody out. There's no sense in taking that chance.
Right.
So it's 2-1. Hey, another great hit by a slapper, Sydney Carter. That's her 3rd hit. Her and Tori been leading the top of that order. You have Elena Harrison. Now, this is where we're talking about the seniors. The seniors have only lost 1 game in 3 years. Are they going to step up right here and make sure that there's not another one? You have Elena Harrison, nice power hitter. Wind's still blowing in, but she can get one out deep enough to score Popovich, who has great speed at 3rd base. As you mentioned, no dumb base running. Make sure the ball's through, see the line drives through, and don't leave early.
The crowd's getting into it. They're sensing it here. Let's see if Elena Harrison can get the big hit.
Strike one. She's gone down 0-2 a couple times already here. Let's see if she can get aggressive and put one into play. I like seeing Zoe Bishop on deck. She hit that last ball hard right at the shortstop. And Elena could do it here with a base hit. She certainly has the ability. I like Elena. I like to see Zoe on deck to score that runner on second and put this game away. Strike 2. Elena's going to have to be aggressive up there. That's 2 strikes. I know that may not have been her pitch. It's on the inside corner, but this is attack time here.
Yeah, we just need a hit, something that gets the ball in play here and it gets that the second run in to tie the game. We got no outs, so a hard hit ball in play is going to score that run. And ooh, that's awful close to hitting her.
Yeah. Step in on that. So I like that pitch by Larson, though. I mean, she got her inside, not looking 2 pitches in a row, and then she moves in a little bit more off the plate. That's a good 0-2 pitch. I'm impressed with Larson, her ability to hit her spots. Coaches are obviously calling good pitches over there. 1-2 to Harrison. And she swings. That's another inside delivery off of Harrison's ankle. She's tough, though. That's she's going to walk it off for a second. She's probably going over there saying something to people on the sidelines, maybe something that's not nice. She'll walk back up and hit.
Elena's a gamer here, but they've been pitching her inside here the last few pitches. Let's see if they like to go outside on Harrison and mix it up.
Yep. She needs to just get her bat on the ball here. Good stop by the catcher.
A little change up there.
Niehaus keeps that ball in front of her, drops down to her knees, blocks the ball with her body, puts it right in front of her. Textbook catching right there.
2-2 pitch, no outs, bases loaded. Comets still down by 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th.
There's
Another foul ball. So
Lane is
Lane,
battling.
yeah.
You gotta like it. This is great. This is what we wanted to see. Popovich on third. Torrey O'Brien on second. Sydney Carter on first. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Harrison. Sydney Larson delivers. Strikes are out looking. Woo! She looked at 3 pitches there. That's tough. That's tough. But we have Zoe Bishop. Zoe Bishop, daughter of Eric Bishop and Krista Bishop. I've seen Zoe get some amazing hits. Let's see what she can do here. You have Zoe up to bat, Allie Weekly on deck, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 game. Bases loaded. The winning run is at second base for the Comets. Torrey O'Brien represents the winning run. And another, we're looking at pitches here. Another one, no balls, 1 strike.
They're not going to pitch her down the middle. We're going to have to hit one on either the inside or the outside, one way or the other. And they've gotten Zoe to ground out a couple of times here. Let's see what she can do on this battle here. 0-1.
There's a hit up the middle. Zoe Bishop to center field.
The play at the plate, and she's in!
And the Comets win!
Comets win! Yeah! Zoe Bishop with the walk-off. Amazing!
Zoe, I said a minute ago I liked Zoe Bishop on deck, and that senior was not going to allow another loss to happen to the Comets. 1 loss in 3 years, that record stays intact. A great job. Hey, great game for Lakota East. They played a great game. The Comets rose up. Here's the final hit by Zoe Bishop before we leave you tonight.
0-1 pitch. Zoe smokes one up the middle, past the shortstop. And here's the great thing, the speed on second base here. She screams around. There is a play at the plate, but nowhere close. And the Comets win in a walk-off. What an exciting game. Comets keep their GMC record intact.
3-2. Hey, this is the game we wanted to see, Eric. I'm excited. I'm glad this was our first one out. I'm looking forward to our ICRC game next Tuesday here at home against Lakota West. Hey, great game to Lakota East. Congratulations to the Comets. Congratulations to Zoe Bishop for the game-winning hit. Folks, great game tonight on ICRC-TV. Thank you for watching us. We'll see you the next time. Have a great night. Thanks.